In this video, I'm going to walk you through the post-lab problems for Lab 4 Beer's Law. On the post-lab, the first thing that you have is just a data table. This is the data that you've collected in the lab. So these are the 5 solutions that you made, and over here you will have reported their absorbance from the spectrometer. These are just going to be numbers without units. I'm just going to say, let's just say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're definitely not going to be those numbers at all, but I'm just going to put some numbers in there. And then question number 2 is asking you to report the data from your calibration curve. In the lab itself, in step number 3 or part number 3, you created a calibration curve where you were graphing concentration on the x-axis and absorbance on the y-axis, and you performed linear regression on that data. So concentration was on the x-axis and absorbance was on the y-axis, and you used your calculator or you used a spreadsheet program like Google Sheets or something, and you created a graph. And if you're doing this on your calculator, you might not have even seen the graph depending on how your calculator works, but it would have been a linear graph of your data. As concentration increases, absorbance also increases, something like this. And the software that you used would have given you an equation for this line right here, which would be in the y equals mx plus b format. So it would be something like y equals mx plus b, but it would have the actual numerical values of m and b. So maybe it's like y equals 5x plus 2. I don't know if that's probably not at all what it is, but you will have been given some equation of the line for your data. You will also have been given an R value by the software, your calculator or Google Sheets or Excel, whatever you're using, an R value, or you may have been given an R squared value, and you should report that number here as well. The lab instructions are telling you that you need to repeat the experiment until your R or R squared value is 0.9 or greater. So you're going to have a pretty close to 1 value here. The R value is just a reflection of how perfect this line is. If the line is perfectly linear, perfectly straight, then the R value or R squared value would be equal to 1. So this, you're just copying data down. Now for step number 3, you will be calculating the concentration of your unknown solution. So your unknown solution is not an unknown chemical. You know what the chemical is. The unknown component is that you don't know what the concentration is of the unknown. So the molarity is the unknown. And you're going to calculate the concentration of the unknown solution. The first thing that you'll have on here is your absorbance data. This is something that you will have measured in lab. So maybe your absorbance is, let's say your absorbance is 2.1. From this absorbance data, using the equation of the line, you're going to calculate your concentration. Remember that absorbance is y in the equation of the line. So if this was your data, you would use your equation, y equals 5x plus 2, and then you would plug your absorbance in as y. So 2.1 equals 5x plus 2, and then you would just solve for x, and x is representing the concentration. So that part is pretty straightforward. Now you have 2 more questions that are kind of theoretical questions. Question number 4, explain why the y-intercept of the calibration curve should be 0. So this graph that you made from this data, that's the calibration curve, and I'm asking you to explain why this line should pass through the point 0, 0. Yours may not, but it's pretty close to 0. If it's not passing through 0, it's very close. Now, I don't want you just to simply define the y-intercept. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm asking you why, if the value of concentration, so if our x value is 0, then why must the absorbance also be 0? Or you could think about it vice versa. If the absorbance is 0, why does concentration have to be 0, or why should it be 0? And to do that, I really want you to just kind of think about the relationship between absorbance and concentration. If there is 0 concentration, if the solution has 0 molarity, would you expect there to be any absorbance at all? So kind of looking at this from the perspective of a chemist, hopefully that's a good hint for you. The last question, this one's actually kind of tricky. So in this question, I want you to imagine that the stock solution was actually more concentrated than you were told. How would this affect the concentration that you calculated or determined for your unknown? So let's kind of back up. What is the stock solution? What are we actually talking about here? What we're talking about is that this 0.4 molar solution that you used to create all of these different solutions, the thing that you were diluting, what if instead of it being 0.4, it was actually 0.5? It was higher than we thought. Now, the label said 0.4. You thought it was 0.4, but turns out, surprise, it's actually 0.5. It's actually a higher concentration than what you thought. So when you used this solution to create all of these individual solutions, all of these concentrations would also actually be higher than we thought. They would be higher than we thought, or than we realized. So if all of those numbers are actually higher than what we thought, this is going to have an effect on our calibration curve. On our calibration curve, we will have plotted this beautiful data, but all of these and we would have plotted that data based on these values of the concentrations. But in reality, all of these concentrations were higher than what we thought. So maybe it's 0.18, and maybe it's 0.26, and maybe it's 0.34. I'm just making some numbers up. So all of these numbers are actually higher than we believed, which would mean that this line is not accurate. The true line, the actual graph here, would be coming from the absorbance values 0.1 or 1.0, we'll say, corresponding to a higher concentration. So this data point, instead of being here, it would actually be over here. And this one would be here and so on. So our line would actually, our true real line that we didn't know about would actually be right here. And so the calibration curve that you got would be based off of this graph, but when you went to plug in your absorbance for your unknown solution, so you plugged in your absorbance and you read your concentration off of the black line, which would give you a concentration right here. But if your true data should have been plotted over here, when you plug in this absorbance, what does that mean for what the actual concentration is? This problem is really tricky. Like, you're gonna need to kind of give yourself some time to sit and think about it, like make some sketches, imagine some hypothetical scenarios, maybe actually plug some real numbers in. I know you can figure this one out. Good luck. I know you can do it.